Now, a lot of questions about this fire, Ronald. We know that a man has been arrested, for example. Do you have any information at all about this man who's been arrested?
Hi there, Will here. And last week I put out a video on the first part of my fire chasing expedition. And this week it's going to be the second part. So I'd recommend watching the first one before this one, just to give yourself a bit more context. But here I am, explaining things with the burning city as a background.
And then on Monday I messaged my friend Kent and we went out to the front lines, largely of his choice. We started off in Frederhoek, which is just over there. Didn't really get that good access into the building areas, but ended up going towards the quarry. And we made some photographs there, wandered about as far as it looked like things would be interesting. I got some photographs of firemen and the fire trucks. Then we opted to go back around to UCT to see if we could get access there, because Kent, being the champion photographer that he is, had been there at like 4 in the morning and made long exposures of the library and everything already before it got completely shut down, and then he got kicked out. And we were like, maybe we could go back and get some more shots. But it was completely locked down, besides the looters, because the police apparently didn't care about looters. The looters were just wandering straight past them. We asked them, we're like, hey, do you know these guys are looting? They were like, yeah, didn't you hear on the radio they're looting? And we were like, okay, Mr. Policeman, I kind of figured it was your job to take care of them looting, but whatever. Anyway, then UCT being a bust, we drove around a bit more in the Rondebosch area on the other side of the mountain, and then came back towards Wendell Park side, where we noticed that things were really kicking off. So we ended up right by the road in an immense amount of smoke in that neighborhood, photographing that, which is super unpleasant. My eyes were like streaming the whole time.
Attempt to burn trees on Table Mountain, but
okay.
Where we are moving on, Bradan, as you can clearly see, there's a lot of ashes, there's a lot of smoke in the background, and this is one of the concerns for firefighters who have said that, you know, one of the biggest problems with trying to contain this fire is that many people are reluctant to also try and move and evacuate because they don't want to leave their belongings.
And it's very windy. Sorry, Ronald, to cut you, and it's very windy as well. We just need to leave your live report here.
And then, completely smoked out, we opted to end things there. And it continues today. This is what it looks like now. I hope the firefighters are okay. It looks like there's a tiny patch of flame just going on up there still. But white smoke is good. White smoke means that it's smoldering. Brown smoke means that vegetation is burning. And black smoke means that something man-made is burning. So white smoke means that stuff is largely smoldering. It is a bit browner still that side maybe, but I think largely things are just being finally sorted out now. None of this is cloud, by the way. This is all smoke. In case that wasn't clear. Smoke. Smoke and helicopter. I've got to get some black and white shots going. I took 5 yesterday in Wendell Park, but I've got 5 left. And there's helicopters and stuff flying around, so I've got the 250mm chucked on here, and we're going to see if we can get a... Holy, there's a lot of ash in this camera. I noticed it on the pictures yesterday too, because I changed lenses and got some inside the body. There is an immense amount of ash inside this RB right now. All over it. Adventure RB. Yesterday the wind was so strong that only the military helicopters could get up, so today it's a lot easier to combat stuff from the air because all of the choppers can get in. It's kind of dead still, which is a massive contrast because yesterday we nearly got blown off the hill. Like, it was incredibly intense wind, and today, nothing. I guess that's why the smoke is sitting too. I think if it was a windy day, it'd be a lot more apparent how kind of solved things are. This angle should give a bit better of an idea of the extent of things. So we had, from down where we were, the smoke looks a lot heavier than it looks from up here. I guess the light's hitting it at a different angle. But you can see on the mountain there's those two patches of green where they managed to keep it under control, and then the rest is just absolutely obliterated. And the whole City Bowl and Helderberg Basin and round past Sea Point side, everything is just covered in smoke. But that's because further out that way is Somerset West and the Helderberg and Gordons Bay, and behind Gordons Bay is the Steenbras Dam. And apparently there was a fire at that dam as well, so all the smoke from there is being brought across. Terrible. That whole hill was green 4 days ago, and now it is decidedly not green. Smoketown. Gonna drive back down to where that log is. The log from the first Cape Town on film video. The historic log. The scary thing is, if that wind had kept up, it could have blown embers over onto this hill. They're actually quite worried about it blowing embers over onto this hill, and I mean, this hill would go up like a torch. There's just pine needles and huge big logs and stuff lying everywhere. I'm about to get run over. Okay, and we're done. I've shot more film over the last 3 days than I have in a very long time. It's quite discomforting. I'm gonna have to sell some prints. I hope you enjoyed that as much as is possible to enjoy something like a disaster. But the photographs, I'm hoping, come out really nicely. And that's about it for now.